Why I can't protect myself. I have autism. I find it very difficult to make sense of the world. I can't read social cues easily. I tend to wander from the group in body and in mind. I learned every lesson ever taught to learn to belong. My first lessons were all about listening to my mother, and then the babysitter, and then the maid, the driver, my therapist, my teacher, the school bus attendant. I learned to freeze and not budge an inch when I heard Mama yell stop above the din of traffic to keep me from being run over, my toe protruding off the rim of the pavement. I learned to use the toilet on command before we left home to go anywhere, so I didn't embarrass myself and others with my accidents, resulting from my inability to use strange and public loos. I learned to listen to my babysitter and the maid and the driver so that it was easier for them to mind me in the absence of my parents as they shunted me from therapy to school to sports classes and back. I learned to perform for my therapists and teachers. I learned to name flashcards. I learned to hold the pencil and write, to spew out answers from rote learning, to do anything at all at the snap of their finger. Every day, Mama sent me off to school with a reminder to always listen. Always listen to the bus uncle. Listen to the PT sir. Listen to the maushi, the teacher. Do what they tell you to do. I make my parents and teachers proud. I have learned to obey any and everyone in authority. Here's what I didn't learn. I didn't learn to protect myself. What do I do now? What do I do with the bullies at school who smear toothpaste down my pants at school trips? What do I do with the boys in class who order me to tell the teacher that I want to rip open her blouse, although I want to do no such thing? What do I do with the liftman? What do I do now with the football coach who tell me to unzip? Who do things to me that make me uncomfortable and confused? I listen. I listen to persons in positions of authority, for that is what I've learned. You see, I have autism. I find it very difficult to make sense of the world. I can't read social cues easily. I have learnt every lesson ever taught to learn to belong. What I can't figure out, what I was never taught, is how to keep myself safe. How to not listen. How to not listen to people in authority. How to not listen to people in authority who can harm me. What do I do now? How do I protect myself?